Hi everybody, this is Dr. Hamid uh, with your Math 120 class, which is college mathematics. Today we'll talk about the last section of chapter 2nd, which is 2.5. Uh, in this section, we will look at applications of set theory. So this is basically an application section, and we will use our skills and techniques learned in previous sections. Okay, so for example, data obtained through surveys will be given to you, and we will draw Venn diagrams with the help of this survey. Okay, and after drawing Venn diagrams, we will find cardinal number or the number of elements in each region of interest. Okay, we will always start with the innermost region and work our way outwards. Okay, and the innermost region will be common to all sets, and then we'll fill all the information in each region of the Venn diagram. Okay, so and after that we will use the completed Venn diagram to answer different questions. Okay, in this section we will basically use examples to learn various things. Okay, we will learn how to use Venn diagram to answer questions regarding the survey results which are not clearly visible from the survey. Okay, so let's start with our first example, which is about a blood drive. Okay, um, according to this survey, students are asked, about helping with the blood drive. Okay, now at the end of this survey, we found out that some students are willing to, donate blood. Some are, willing to serve the breakfast. Some are willing to do both. They want to serve breakfast and donate blood. And some, they found out that they don't want to participate. They don't want to do anything. Okay. Um, now, the results of this survey are shown in this Venn diagram here. Okay. Uh, the set A here, the circle A, it represents those who are willing to donate blood. And the set B here, it shows those students, that group, that set who are willing to serve the breakfast. Okay, now based upon this Venn diagram, we will answer some questions here. Okay, for example, the first question is, how many students are willing to donate blood? Okay, now from Venn diagram, this is the region. This circle represents the set which want to donate, which are willing to donate blood. So it will be region 1 and region 2 here. Okay, so this is basically region 1 and region 2 for this one here. Okay, now to find the exact number, we need to find the cardinal number of this set here. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll add the numbers in region 1 and region 2. Okay, so which comes out to be 490. Okay, so 490 people are willing to donate blood here. Now let's move on to the next question. How many students are willing to donate blood but not serve the breakfast? Okay, so now it will be our region 1 here only. Okay, so a total a, this whole circle is for people who want to donate blood. This is the intersection here. Okay, now they want to donate blood and breakfast as well, but we do not want to include the breakfast here. We only want to include, only want to give those numbers who are willing to donate blood only. Okay, so this is our region of interest. Okay, and what is this region? Basically, mathematically speaking, this will be an intersection of A with the complement of B. Okay, and as you can see, the number is comes out to be 370 there. Okay, now next question is, how many are willing to do both? Okay, um, that is the easiest question. This region 2, is intersection or common to both. Okay, those who want to donate blood, those who want to serve in the breakfast, and this region here, the middle region here, okay, that is the region which represents those students who are willing to do both. Okay, and mathematically speaking, this will be the intersection of A, with B. Okay, and the intersection of two sets, it comes out to be 120 number, 120 students. Okay. The last question is, how many don't want to do anything? Okay, so what will be that? Now, students of interest are represented in these circles here. Okay, so students of interest are in region 1, region 2, and region 3. Okay, now all those who do not want to do anything is given by this region 4 here. Okay, outside these circles. So what is that number? That number is 290. So there are 290 students who don't want to do anything. Okay, let's move on. Let's look at a second example with different type of survey, and the survey is about public attitude towards life. Okay, um, in this survey, 2000 randomly selected people, both US and Mexican adults, they were asked a similar question. Okay, same question from everybody, and the question is, do you agree or disagree, okay, that the primary cause of poverty is social injustice? Okay, this was the question. So people answered it according to their preferences, and the results of the survey showed that about 1060 people agreed with the statement that poverty is the cause of social injustice, and and among those agreed, 400 were Americans. Okay, 400 Americans agreed with this statement as well. And another interesting fact is given to us is that half of the total who were surveyed, okay, half of the 2000, they were Americans. Okay, so 1000 were Americans, and among the total 2000, 1060 agreed, and we know that 400 agreed were Americans. Okay, now let's move on to the questions. Okay, we want to find out how many Mexicans agreed with this statement. Okay, this is not explicitly given in our numbers here. We want to use set theory to find how many Mexicans agreed with the statement. Moreover, we also want to find out how many Mexicans disagreed with this statement. Okay, so we will answer these questions at the end of our analysis here. Now let's move on. Okay, and sort these things out, this attitude problem. Okay, now the first step here is to define and draw our Venn diagram. Okay, now based upon the information given to us, okay, we have two sets here. Okay, one set is people who agreed with the statement, and the other set is the set of US participants. Okay, now again, A here is taken for people who agreed, and US set US is the US adults here. Okay, now obviously the area outside the US, okay, the area outside the US and agree and A here outside these two circles will be the one who okay, so this one is agreed. Okay, I'm sorry, this one is agreed and this one is US. So outside this one will be the the Mexicans, set of Mexicans. Okay, now the area outside the US circle represents the set of Mexicans. Okay, now the group of people outside A circle, outside A here, okay, must be the set of people who disagreed. Everything outside A will be the disagreeing people. Okay, because agreed are only contained in this A here. Okay, so let's now we have our Venn diagram. Okay, let's start finding the numbers, the cardinal number of each region. Okay, we have three regions here, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and 4. So we'll start finding the numbers in each region. Okay, as you know, we will start with the innermost region here, which is region 2. Okay, So let's work our way outwards. So now we know that the following information about the members, okay, in each set. The total number surveyed was 2000. This is given to us. So n of u, the universal set, is 2000. Okay. We also know that half of the people who were surveyed were Americans. So n of US, n of set US was 1000. Okay. Also, we also know the number who agreed with the statement, and that is 1060. So n of A, n of agreed is 1060 there. Okay. And one more thing we know is that among the agreed, 400 are Americans. So which is the intersection of US and A here, basically this region. Okay, so there is 400. Okay, now what we need to do here is we next we will use all these numbers which we have available, and we will complete Venn diagram by filling in the numbers, okay, in each region. So let's put numbers in the Venn diagrams one by one. Okay, so we'll work on this step by step. Okay, now starting with region 2 here. Okay, so this is the region 2. It's always easy to work with. Okay, this region is a common region to both sets. Okay, so this region basically represents those Americans who agreed. Okay, the intersection of US and A here. Okay, so this is the set of those Americans who agreed. So we have numbers in one region. Now next move on to region 1, okay, which is the US region here. Now this region represents those Americans who disagreed. Region 1 is those Americans who disagreed. Now we know that total 1000 were total Americans, and 400 agreed. Simple math tells us the difference of these two will be those who disagreed. So this region we will have 600 there. Okay, so this is region 1, which is which represents those Americans who did not agree with the statement. Okay, now let's move on to region 3 here. Region 3 is this one here. Okay, this region is, see, remember that this is American region. Okay, when we are in this region, that's non-Americans, but since it is an A, so this is non-American who agreed. Okay, region 3 is non-Americans who agreed. So we know that total who agreed were 1060, 400 are Americans, and the difference will give us the numbers for this region, which comes out to be 660. So this will have 660 up there. Okay, right there. Now let's move on to the fourth region, the remaining region here. Okay, this region is, I already talked about it, everything outside these circles. Okay, so they are neither US nor they agree. Okay, so since we have total surveyed for 2000, okay, and region 4 will be 2000, the total, the universal set, minus the sum of all these three regions, which comes out to be 340. So 340 will go in region 4. Okay, now let's move answer a few questions based upon our Venn diagram we just constructed. Okay, the first question is the Mexicans who agreed with the statement. Okay, how will you find out that the Mexicans who agreed with the statement is the non-Americans who agreed? So this will be region 3 here. This is our answer. Okay, so this means that 660 region Mexicans agreed with the statement that social excuse my spellings here, social injustice is the primary cause of poverty. Okay, similarly, next question is how many Mexicans disagreed with the statement. Okay, so this region represents the Americans, this region represents the agreed. So we have Mexicans here. Okay, so all the Mexicans who disagreed will be represented by region 4 here. So 340 Mexicans, based upon our Venn diagram, were the Mexicans who disagreed, okay, that the social injustice is the primary cause of poverty here. Okay, a lot of information here. I hope you followed me and we were in the same page. Okay, now let's move on to next example here. So let's look at one more example. In this survey, 60 people were contacted, okay, and were asked to respond to a movie survey. Okay, they people were asked about what kind of movies they liked. Okay, so and the following information was obtained. Six people out of those 60, they liked comedies, dramas, and science fiction. Okay, all three. So six of them, they liked all three. 13 people liked only comedies and dramas. 10 people liked comedies and science fiction. 11 people liked dramas and science fiction. 26 people likes comedies. Okay. 21 people like dramas. 25 people like science fiction alone. Okay. And our first goal here, okay, we will answer a lot of questions based on this one here. But our first goal and the main goal is to construct a Venn diagram based upon this, survey results here. Okay. So let's get started. Okay. And our universal set, okay, will have 60 members in it. Okay. So since we surveyed 60 people, so that's our universal set here, and it will contain three subsets. Okay. So we know the basic how our Venn diagram will look like. We will have a rectangle, okay, and then we will have three subsets in there. Okay, one set will be the set of people who like comedies. Next one will be the set of people who like dramas, and the third one will be the set of people who like science fiction. Okay, now let's use all this information, okay, uh, and uh, all the information we know so far, and put it on the Venn diagram, and then we will find the cardinal number of each region, in Venn diagram. So this is the Venn diagram, okay, the basic structure, which has three sets. The comedies set is labeled by C, the drama set is labeled by D, and the science fiction set is labeled by S circle here. Okay, so let's label the regions. How many regions we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then there's 8 as well. I forgot to label that, the 8th region outside all the circles here. Now let's start our let's start with the innermost region here. Okay, now innermost region is number 5 here. Okay, which is this innermost region. It represents the intersection to all three sets here. Okay, so this will be the region which which is common to all three. Okay, so the number in this region is tells us that this many people liked comedies, dramas, and science fiction, all three. Okay, now it is given to us, the 6 was given to us. Okay, 6 people liked all three: dramas, comedies, and science fiction, right there. Okay, so 6 goes in this region 5. I already have it there. Okay, the next question is, the information given to us was that 13 people liked comedies, dramas, okay, comedies and dramas. So 13 people like comedies and dramas. Now this is the circle for the comedy, and this is the circle for the drama here. Okay, now 13 people liked comedies and dramas, so the intersection will be this one here. Okay, now this is represented by regions 2 and 5 here. Okay, sum has to be 13 here. Okay, we already know 6 in this one, so the remaining 7 will go there. Okay, with 6 already counted in region this one, okay, 7 will go in here. Okay, so we have 2 regions numbered down here, so 6 in region 5 and 7 in region 2 there. Okay, now let's move on. Now we will work on regions 4 and 6 here. Okay, so let's work on 4. Now it is given to us that 10 people liked comedies and science fiction. Okay, 10 liked comedies and science fiction. So this is a comedy circle, this is a science fiction circle. Okay, now so the intersection will represent us the both people who liked both comedies and science fiction, the intersection of these two. Okay, and that is region 4 and 5 here. Now 5, so out of these 10, okay, 6 is already counted in the innermost region. Okay, and so the remaining 4 will go in this 4 here. Okay, so 4 goes in this region 4. Similarly, in this region 6, okay, we know that 11 people like dramas and science fiction. Okay, so that is region 5 and 6. Now, out of these 11, 6 is already counted here. Okay, in region 5. So the remaining will go in region 6 here. Okay, so 5 goes into region 6 here. So we filled the Venn diagram, almost all the inner parts here. We filled 5, 2, 6, and 4 regions. Now in the next slide, we will work on 1, 3, and 7. Okay. Now, let's work on 1 here. Okay. It is given to us that 26 people liked comedies. Okay. So comedy is this whole circle here, which consists of region 1, 2, 5, and 4. Okay. Now, out of these 26, okay, 26 people liked the whole comedy circle. Okay, out of these 26, 17 all already counted. So 6 plus 7 plus 4. Okay, so 13 plus 4, 17 are counted in regions 2, okay, 4 and 5, and the remaining will go in region 1 here. Okay, so 9 goes in region 1 here. Similarly, let's look at how this 3 we got. Okay, it is also given to us that 21 people like dramas. Okay, and that is region 2, 3, 5, and 6, this whole circle. Okay, now all these 3 regions, these 3 regions already, they counted 18. Okay, so out of 21, 18 are already counted in 2, 5, and 6. Okay, so the remaining will go in this region here. Okay, so the difference will go in this region. Similarly, the region 7, we are given that 25 people like science fiction. So science fiction circle contains all these regions here. These 3 are already counted for. Okay, so we'll sum these 3 and take a difference from 25, and it will give us 10. So 10 will go in this region here. Okay, now let's also talk about the last region here. Okay, so this region is those people surveyed who do not like any of these 3 categories. Okay, so how will you find, how you find this 16? We know that total was 60. Okay, so we'll sum all these regions in the circles and take the difference. Okay, so all of these comes out to be 44. So 60 minus 44 is 16 people. So they go in this region here. Okay. Okay. Now let's talk about, now we have all the Venn diagram. Okay. We have the completed Venn diagram. Each region is labeled. Okay. And we can use this, information given in this Venn diagram and the numbers in each region, and we can answer a few questions. Okay, the questions which were not clearly visible from the surveys directly. Okay, for example, how many people like exactly one movie style, how many people like 2 movie styles, something like that. Okay, so let's look at these questions one by one. Okay, again the same filled Venn diagram is given to us. Let's look at the first question. How many out of those 60, how many people like comedies only? Okay, how many people like comedies only? So what are we looking for? We are looking for, okay, we are looking for this region here. Okay, this whole circle is a comedy circle, but whenever you see a overlap, that means they like more than one movie types. But since we are looking for no overlap, okay, so people who like comedies is this region 1 here. Okay, and out of the 60, 9 people liked the comedies. Okay, now let's look at the next question. Next question is, how many like drama and fiction but not comedies? Okay, things are getting complicated. Drama, okay, drama and fiction but not comedies. So which one is the drama? Drama is this one, okay, and fiction is this one. So we are looking for some kind of intersection of these two, but we do not want any part of the comedies here. Okay, so now this will be region, basically this will be region, the part which is common to dramas and fiction is region 5 and 6 here. Okay, but since we do not want any comedy, so this 5 must be excluded. So the only region of interest is this region 6 here. Okay, so what is the number? They give the number. Okay, the 5 people like drama and fiction but not comedies here. Okay, let's move on. How many people like drama or science fiction but not comedy? Okay, drama, which is this one here, this circle, or science fiction, which is this circle, but not comedy. Okay, now people who don't like comedies, okay, will be a complement of set C here. Okay, so people who like comedies is this one. People who don't like comedies will be the complement of C. Okay, now 26 people total like comedies, it is given to us, and 26 minus U, the universal, okay, this one here will be the number of people who don't like comedies. So our answer is 10 here. So what are we doing basically? We are basically doing D, drama, union, science fiction, intersection, C complement. Okay, and it comes out to be 18 here. Now let's look at some different kind of problem, different kind of questions here. The question is, how many people like exactly one movie style? Okay, so we are looking for people with the exclusive style. Okay, so how many of like exactly one movie style? So what are we looking for here? We are looking for those regions, okay, which have absolutely no overlap. So we are looking for this region, no overlap. We are looking for this region, no overlap. We are looking for this region, no overlap. Okay, so 9 people only like comedies, 3 people only like dramas, and 10 people only likes science fiction. So add them up. Okay, so people with exclusive taste are 22. Some of these three regions, numbers in three regions here. Now let's look at another one. How many people like at least 2 movie styles? Okay, now at least 2. They did not say exactly 2. If they say exactly 2, it will be a different story. Okay, so at least 2 will be we will look for overlaps. Okay, we will anything which is overlapping will be our region of interest. So we are looking for region 2, 5, 6 and 4. Add the numbers in these overlapping regions. Okay, there will be at least 2 and they come out to be 22 there. Okay, now the last interesting question is, how many don't like anything here discussed here? Okay, they did not like comedy, they did not like drama, they did not like science fiction, maybe they like something else, maybe they like horror, or maybe they like documentaries or something. So anything outside these 3 circles will be the answer to this one, which will be region 8 here. Okay, so it's region 8. 16 people out of 60 did not like any of these 3 categories discussed here. Okay, so let's okay, that's it for today, for today's lecture. As I told you earlier, this was the the last section of this chapter 5 here. In this lecture, with the help of examples, we discussed different survey problems and used set theory to answer different questions raised in these surveys. Okay, and I hope you followed me, you understood the contents of this lecture. Please try the homework problems assigned in my math lab. If you have any questions, contact me. I'll try to help you. Thank you. Bye bye.